bit different tonight. I'm going to work with Copilot and some Python. So, just going to check some volume levels. If everyone could just let me know if they can hear me okay. Got a new setup audio-wise, so hopefully this is coming through okay. If not, if it's quiet or if there's any issues, let me know and we'll have a play with it. Cool. Alrighty. Windows. Okay. Alright, getting some feedback now. The music is loud that I can't be heard over the music. So let's figure a few things here. Those are being funny. Why can't I access that? Interesting. Sorry, my system is being a bit funny. Give me a sec. Okay, is that any better audio-wise? Alright, let's... Sorry, for some reason my screen's popping up here, which is not what I actually want it to pop up. In a second, it's gonna flip back to my starting screen. Just need to quickly play with something. It's always the way when you've got new stuff, it wants to play up a bit. Alright, is that better for the audio? I've got someone throwing some messages in the background, see if that is indeed better or not. There's a bit of a delay for that to come through. Okay, music's still a bit loud, I can deal with that. Almost there. Alright. And also maybe move the microphone a little bit closer to may help. So welcome to the audio troubleshooting stream. Okay, I think we got it. I think we're there. Cool. Waiting for final confirmation from the back rooms. Yep, alright, cool. Looks like we are good. Now let me get my screen going back again. Alrighty. And we're done. And we're back. Cool. Alrighty. So yeah, tonight we're doing a bit of Python. I haven't done some Python in a while, but good to kind of brush off on it, or brush up on it, and let's use Copilot to give us a hand here too. So what do I want to do? I want to make an API that we can call. I'm not going to worry too much about databasing at this moment for this demo, but I do want to kind of get an API with a couple of endpoints that you can call. We'll kind of muddle through and work that out as we go. And just while I'm on that, I do need to keep an eye on, I've got a task running in Azure at the moment for something else unrelated that I need to just keep an eye on as it's doing its thing. Cool. Alrighty. Make sure I get all my windows back up. Make sure I'm monitoring all my chats and socials and everything. Cool. Alrighty. So, let's start off. So let's bump up Copilot and say, hi Copilot, I would like to create an API with Python. Ooh. You tell me what. Help me with this. Cool, so let's find out first what kind of libraries, at least this Copilot. No. Okay, so we've got Flask, we've got Django, Fast API, Tornado, Falcon, and Bottle. So I kind of used Flask before in the past. I haven't used Fast API. Maybe that's one to give a shot. Okay, well let's do that. Let's try with Fast API. Alright, let's see what it can tell me about Fast API. Now, keep in mind that Copilot is behind on what is modern, so we should actually work out how far behind. So let's say, what is the latest version of Fast API? Okay. Didn't quite answer the question. What is the latest you know about? Let's see what version it knows about. Okay, so it's October 2021, which was a while ago. So we might have to go and check. So Fast API is currently in 111. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Let's see if there's been any breaking changes since then. So, how do I set up a new for Python? So, I'm aware of there's a concept of using virtual environments of Python to kind of keep things clean. So let's try and do that. Cool. And it's also remembered what I was doing previously. So I've been talking to it about Fast API. So it's also included here the instruction of, hey, you can use pip to install it once you have your environment defined. So let's get a terminal running. Also, I'm running this inside a dev container, as you can see up here. Just to give me some good separation from my base machine, which has all sorts of other things running at the moment. Cool, so let's do a Python 3 VN, call it env. So again, we're just being clean about how we're doing this and getting that installed. So yeah, hopefully everyone's had a good start to their week. For me, it was public holiday yesterday in Australia, or Melbourne, Australia, so that was nice. Kind of had the day off there. Oh, I got an error. Hey Nemesis, how you going? Is that just the Python tree? No, Python tree exists. Nope. What's going on? Sure, you can backseat. That's all good. So I'm going to be mainly using Copilot because I'm actually building this out to kind of use as part of a Copilot demo that I'm planning to do. So might be looking for a few meetups and things to talk to Python people around using Copilot in the day-to-day as well. But of course that means I need to learn a bit more Python. I've done Python in the past, but it's been a while. So, why did the B environment not work? Operation not permitted. Don't tell me I have to sudo this. No. It does not like something. Let's just try and clean that up. Alright. Doesn't like it. Let's try with a different name, huh? And we will call this PI demo. Not VEMV is not functioning. Interesting. Maybe I don't need to call Python 3. Sorry about that, just had to sneeze all of a sudden. So see if Python wants to work. It shouldn't be read only. Again, I am working inside of a dev container, so, but it certainly shouldn't be a read only directory. And it's just doing something weird. So it's root, but it's got full read-write access to that directory. Yeah, no, full read-write access. Don't know. So okay, let's just try and activate. Alright, bin activate. No, it doesn't. Okay, this is not the rabbit hole I really want to be getting down. So we don't even have an activate. Look, alright. We're just gonna move past this. I'm in a dev container. We can treat that as a standalone environment. It's trying to do things cleanly, but it doesn't want to, and I don't really want to fight it tonight. So we will go ahead and let's install Fast API. Cool, we've got Fast API installed. Now let's see. So I want to ask it about basic structure because I'm used to .NET where everything is pretty heavily structured. Sometimes I'll need to ask, but I know Python you can be really fluid with how you lay things out, but I want to try and get a bit of structure in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and follow this, and what I will do, I'm just going to pop chat out for a minute, and we're going to, now I have no idea if this is a good practice for Fast API or not. This is just what Copilot is aware of. Okay, so we've got our base folder, so let's go, we want to create folders for app, tests, readme and requirements. So we'll make the app, and then we'll touch, cool, so that should give us those. And now it wants us to do some init, so we'll just copy that. Let's go into app, and we will do that. And then it's so I'm just doing it this way just to get the files in place, and then we'll go through and actually start working on those files. Inside here we have routers, models, and schemas. Okay, and again, do we have that same layer? So it has the same init in each. It looks like that's in each folder. That's fine. And then we do. Wish I had. I need to work on my kind of terminal here. I usually like to use a terminal auto completion, but I have lost that at the moment. I need to recreate that, which would then have it's for Windows machine it'll be Omar Posh is what I'd use to do my terminal, and then it's OM Zush or something like that, essentially for the ZSH terminal. So okay, so that's that one. Do that. Schemas. Okay. And tests. It wants that in as well. Cool. Alright, let's have a look. How are we looking to what we had here? And then test underscore main for the tests. And we can learn how to do some tests as well. Cool. Alrighty. And then obviously our main PY here is our main entrance as well. So let's bring Copilot. Can I redock you back in? I'd like to redock you. Can I redock you? No, you're going to jump up there for now. That's okay. So what we want to do here is, okay, we've got the structure. Right, so what do I do? What am I doing in this one here? Okay, so this is just giving us the basic import, run it. Okay, that's fine. So let's ask it now, okay, it's given us this structure, how do we actually use that? Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and let's make a new file, and we will call this, let's call this hello. So we're going to have a router called hello, and now it says we're going to need to do this, so we'll just paste this in, except that's not what I wanted. What we wanted is this. Step ahead. So we're creating, so importing the API router, which is this, and then we're going to call this hello. We'll say this is name, and we'll call this say hello, and we'll say name. Now string. Yeah, that's string. And then we will return. Okay, that's fine. Return a JSON to message hello name. Cool, easy enough. And in here we want to do the import post fast API from no, what am I doing wrong? It is from fast API import. I was trying to give it a name, which I don't need to, and then we say from routers import hello. I mean, yep, app API, and then we say include the router hello dot router. All right, cool. That seems to be set of routers there. So okay. Okay. How do I run this? So I will need a server. Okay, so we need something to actually serve that, so that's fine. So we'll do pip let's get back to the base. Pip install. That's Ubicorn. Okay. I'm going to say Ubicorn main app. Oh, that said unicorn there, that doesn't help. Reload. Okay, cool. So we should be up and running. And then we should be able to do a call here. So let's, and it's just going to say something about detail not found. I'm guessing that's because we don't have name equals Bob. Okay. Now, whether or not that's how that actually is meant to work, no, because we actually need to do hello Bob. There we go. Cool. So we have created an API with a route where we've got a get, a name. Okay, great. So that's get. What if we wanted to send it some more data? And so what we're going to do for this, I'm going to go grab an extension. Which is called Thunder Client. This is just a nice lightweight got a REST API. You can use Postman as well if you want. That's another good one. Cool. Is what we want. Now I want to say user name. Okay, say that, and then we say hello name is fine. If we say just hello, we say hello. Default, and we want to say hello to the username, except for we want to what is comment in Python? Is it just hash area? Is set. Okay. Alright. Now, can we set that to null? No, because null is not declared. Is it? No, none. So we can set it to none. We can set it to tell it has no value. Okay. And then we want to do a post. Thank you, Copilot. So Copilot's again getting some of the context of what we're doing. I'm sure this is not a good way to do it, but we'll find out. So this is still running, so if I do hello Bob again, that's gonna do hello Bob, and that's good. If I say hello, it's gonna say set a username first. And now let's get on the client, do a new request. I think we're still on. Just on HTTP here, I think, or are we on? Are we on? No, we just. That's fine. Should just be. Do localhost. Now, the reason I'm doing a different port here is because I think this one will go internal to it, to the actual container I'm running. We'll try that out. It said no. Maybe you're wrong. Oh no, it will still route the 8,000 because the actual VS Code is outside the container, not inside the container. That's why that is. Cool. So we should now be able to do a post to hello, and we should be able to give it a body, and we should be able to then say name is Steve, and it's saying missing query name field required. Okay. No, I thought that would give me the name. Interesting. Let's call it. I'm just gonna call it name. I'll call it new name. I just want to avoid the word name. Sometimes can be a bit funny. It's like sometimes type can be funny. Okay. Still saying missing query? Interesting. Unprocessable NC. I wonder if I don't think that's gonna. Yeah, no, that's gonna still be rubbish. Okay, let's ask Copilot. Alright, let's see what Copilot tells us. That's not what I'm after, Copilot. That's more what I'm after. Okay, so let's have a look. So this is if I was using query parameters, yes. So I don't know if I'm missing that there. Set the post. No, I'm still. Telling me that that is missing. Okay, Copilot's having some trouble seeing what I'm saying. Let's see if I can get. Still fix this. See if it can tell me anything. Okay, so it's saying that I actually need a request. I'm just gonna skip this track. This is a new playlist I'm trying, and this track is not doing it for me. Let's move to another track. Alright, so let's accept that. So it's saying, let's get a request. Okay, and we'll save that. That'll restart. Can still check that's fine. No, still does not like something. Unless it's so it's saying that this should work. So it's saying that should work. But it doesn't. Interesting. It's saying field required, input null. complaining about the global variable, that's fine. Not quite what I'm asking here. I'm trying to get to why I can't. I'll do something that should be relatively straightforward. You should be getting that come in. Interesting. We might have to go to an Ask Google on this one, because I don't think Copilot's quite getting what the issue is. Okay, now that's a bit more. I just want to do a really simple. I don't think that's relevant. So the error we're getting is 422. 422. Okay, so it looks like I've got to be more structured than I've been. So it was crossbody. To clear the crossbody, you can use pedantic models. Okay, so let's try that. So I'll need to install this. Alright, that's already installed, that's fine. So I have to put that there, and then we can just do a class. We'll do a user request, and we'll say name. And then should be able to do then just should be request, and then it should be hello request username. Okay, so let's try that again. So now we should have this, and it should just be username. Okay, there we go, that worked. Cool. So it didn't like the fact that we we're sending it JSON in a structured way and it was trying to deserialize it into a class. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's still complaining about this global, but that's fine. Cool. So it's also talking about how we could save that into a request session. But I don't really want to say, I want to save that more. I do want to save it globally within the application, use like an in-memory database, but that's fine. We'll ask it how we should go about that. But for now, that should be there. And now when I hit this, we have a value. So we'll just confirm that again, and we'll say x. Boom. We've set our username now, so if I refresh this, there we go. All works. Great. Cool. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna go check on my other bit of work which is running in the background at the moment. Okay. Alright. Sorry, just give me a sec. Just had, sorry, my background task that was running has decided it wanted to fail. Okay. Just trying to troubleshoot. So I'm trying to do multiple things tonight. And it's not really. Giving me, the thing I'm looking at is not giving me good errors. Let me just I'll deal with that in a little bit. Okay, cool. Back to this. Alrighty. So first, what we're doing, so now we have this endpoint. What we want to do is we actually want to now see, okay, can we create a place where I could be managing the data? Also, I just realized I should be putting this model inside the models. So I'm not sure what to do with these init. So, but let's do this as a hello request, and we'll actually do it this way. So I think keeping lowercase might be a good idea, and then we can do so from base model, we say class, and then we say username here, and then here we would then say from models import. Alright, so if you say models import, is that gonna work? I have a iffy feeling that that's not gonna work. Cannot port name from app.models. Alright. What do I do? Does that need to be included? Or is it because I have a different name? All this user details. I just want to differentiate this a little. So that doesn't work. Let's say it's not accessible. Okay. Okay. Let's do it now. Workspace. Right. How do I do that? So this is saying that it should work. Okay, maybe I need to rename this to user details. It's saying cannot import no, I'm just fishing around, I'm not sure. So let's just grab okay. So I should be doing models report details. So it's saying that's not accessible. I need to inside the models. So inside this one, I need to be saying from user details, import user details here. Okay, so I should be doing that there. And then does that work? It's still saying inaccessible. This is still having a problem out here, so let's say details here. Okay, not saying this is now good. Okay, so let's, yeah, no, it's still okay there, still okay there. Alrighty, so what we needed to do was we needed to import, so in this init, kind of like exposing that out. Okay, cool. So what's schemas for then? Is that just database information? Okay. What would be in the schemas folder? Okay, so this would actually be more where that schema would come in and then map, so it's like a DTO type thing, which then would be used to create the user object. Cool. All right, that makes sense. So it actually then, instead of, so in here we would then have a user, and then in here we would have, yep, move view across, and then we'd grab this, stick that in. From user details, import user details. So we'd grab that from there, and then of course back in here wouldn't be up models, we have schemas. Okay, and then we would then have a user model, should be base model, and this would just be class user. Sure. Let's do that. And what we might do here is we might do something like you request. So something like we were requesting a new user. That's fine. So from base model, and then we do that. Cool. And then user details, we would have a username, and then maybe disabled. So this would be asking, is the user disabled? Do we have a user of that username? Something like that. All right, cool. Alright. And then we could come in here, and because we have from user request, port user request. Why could I not? It's interesting. Why can't that be resolved? Unresolved. Why would that be the case? Nothing in there. It's very odd. I'm gonna redo the router too. We'll do this as a registration. Do this as a registration endpoint. And then we might do a login as well. I'm sure there are better ways to do this. This is kind of rolling your own again. Wouldn't recommend, but in doing so, I will hopefully learn a bit about how some of these things work. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is actually, we'll do the registration. Okay, but I don't want that to. So we're just going to do a register endpoint here. So I want to do the encryption, so I'm going to remove the body of this. Doesn't want to do this, so that's a good one, Copilot. Yeah, don't do this. This is very bad. Okay. How would I do encryption here? Okay, now I don't really want to do that. Because I kind of want to use like a signing key or something like that. Yeah, ultra secure, just add encrypted to all the passwords. It's encrypted, right? Um, so I don't want to store things in memory. Here we go. This will be it. So. Alright, let's. Whoop. We've got a vulnerability here. Haha, it's saying hard coded. Well, let's give it a shot. We'll pop open a new terminal. I said, no, okay. Install cryptography. May help. So now super secure again. So it will echo encryption key. Specify. There we go. So that's definitely worked. So we will do it again just to make sure that's super secure now, because not even I know what the key is until I do that. And alright, so what we need to do here, import OS, no, not that, OS, and from photography, Furnace, import that, it's fine, users, and then we'll get our key. Of course, the key will be visible within the running application. It's fine, as long as we're not storing it in source code or anywhere we're getting that put in. Let me say if not key, then raise value is that there was no encryption key set, and we set that as the cipher suite. Cool. And we take this horrible thing away. We say password equal to new user request password dot encode. And call it, so that's fine. Let me say encrypted password. And then so we cipher that. Okay, cool. Nope, that. Oh, do that. Okay. So that's new user. We don't actually need to set that back here because we'll create a user. And we have, so we can do from app.models port user. Did I not? Should be user, so we should do from port user. And then we should, so here this should be user like that. So we want a list, and then we want how do I create a new instance of a class in Python? So So just call it as if it was the standard function. Okay, so new user equal to user, and then we set that all there, and then we append the user because we're just doing it in memory database for the moment. Cool. Except for that's gonna then not persist past here. I don't want to use a database. So it says use a global store. Okay. So if I do global like that, and we say users like that. Global store import users, and it doesn't like that. It's not a class, so is that gonna work? So it just says in here we just say store. That's saying could not be resolved. No. Doesn't like something there. App. Why don't we create a new folder, data, and then we move global store into there. And then actually, could we make this more? I'm trying to think if I can make this like an interface, something like that where I can interact with it. Do as a class, and just gonna have this as Okay, so here's that, and then if I in main here, so we still complaining about global, that's fine. No, I don't think this is doing what I want it to do. I think what you want is this here. Don't actually want this, so we want to use this. This is what I want, I think. Okay, so we can get the users, add the user, we can get the user by username, delete the user by username. Okay. We don't want any of that. Need to import global store. No module. Okay, let's how would I access that? Okay, so if I was to then, let's say in here we say okay, that seems to be okay. And so rather than that, we would say add user from that import. Now, could I then go back to what I was doing initially, which is let's move this back into data. Add so we add those as possible imports, and then in here we would do data import user, and then that should work. And now we have, so we don't need this in here, we don't need that in there. Cool. So now we have a way of persisting that data outside of that area, so we don't need users here. Okay, so let's give this a test. So let's just close this down for a moment. So posting to register. And what we want to be posting is this schema here. So we'll just bump that in here. Then we'll go ahead and test one. Say test at test.com. Say testerson, and I need to add that in there, and then we say password is password 123, and being super secure there, and we'll say disabled is false. Like false, false. You don't need that there. Alright, cool. So, boop, did not like that. Maybe I need to, because it didn't find that input, so let's, maybe that input didn't exist. And no, just it helps if you actually add the router. Hello, we want import registration. No module found, global store. No. Interesting, why are we now not? From global store you put no module named global store. Okay. No, that didn't quite help me, didn't really explain what was going on. Okay, what am I doing here? Clearly doing something. See if that helps me. missing the dot. Okay, now I'm getting no encryption key. Alright. Okay. That seems to be doing better. Cool. We had a 200 OK on the registration. Sweet. So now I need to ask it, or generate a route for users. Should mostly find a better naming convention here, but from fast API, what API router. Okay, and we also from cool. So now, if I just call users, get a not found. Now it's because I restarted the application. So now if I send that, and now I get users, still getting a not found. Ah. Again, register the router. Go. It's telling me there's none. Set that through. There we go. We have our user. Cool, so we've successfully managed to do that. So it's given username, email, full name, told me it's not disabled. So get users there. Now I wonder. We didn't store the email, the password. I'm like, why am I missing the password? Because I don't have a password. Okay. That's reloaded, so memories of course gone, so we've sent that through. There we go, and the password has been encrypted. We have an encrypted password. Great. Of course, we don't want that to come out in there, so what we actually want to be doing is requesting the user details. So, in users, we should be mapping this. Let's create a function details. Okay, and then we want to do that. Great. This is something I do like about Python. That's nice, where it's nice, simple. We're doing a loop over the entries and calling a function and doing it. Now, while it's nice, let's see if it actually works. we get nothing. That's great. Send that through. And now we have user details, but without the password. Cool. So now what we want to do is a quick login router schema. We'll do a new file. We'll do login request. Model, and then we do a login request to username and password. Nice and simple. Again, you would want in a real application this password here should be being passed to you encrypted. You shouldn't be passing that in plain text, but in this case we will pass it in plain text and do the encryption on our end and verify. But you wouldn't want to do that. You would want some kind of encrypted channel to be sending password details over. I'm sure there's a framework for doing it. That would be much more skill. Okay, so now from our login, so from fast API import. Doesn't like that because it's a fast API. Import that, and then we will from the scheme we need to put this, and we want login request import login request. It's complaining. Let's say that. Well, that can't be resolved. That should be fine. I don't see an issue there. Also, before I forget, and we do have include. Alrighty, cool. So, still saying that there's a bit of an issue there. Dot schemas import login request. Okay. We don't want to just request that, so we want to first of all find user. So you from app.data for its user by username. User equals get user by username. Dump. And then if so, now we want to encrypt the password that's being passed. And I just will need. Mostly this is something that would work as a module rather than just doing this here, but I'm gonna do this quickly. And then we go get the cipher key this way. Cool. That cipher key. So we encrypted our password. And then we're going to compare the passwords that have been encrypted, because we're not storing the plain text password anywhere, we only know of the encrypted password, which is fine. Okay. Okay, so encrypt passwords, compare the passwords. Okay. So, let's go. Do we have any users? We do not. So let's send our user details. First we have one user, which is test1. Now let's try and log in. Just going to go and get another new request. Going to post. And the body will be username test1 password 23. So let's try it. Now it's telling us incorrect password. Okay. Incorrect password. Is this encryption method not... Key should be the same. That shouldn't be an issue. So when I encrypt both, it should be, unless I don't understand. See if I understand what I mean by timing. Yep, so given the same plaintext and the same key, it should produce the same subtext. Okay, so interesting. It is deterministic by its nature. However, the token includes a timestamp in the token, and this timestamp is part of the data that gets encrypted. So that would mean that, yeah, that's a pain. So in this case, it means that every time you try and do that, then yes, it would pass through. It would be incorrect. You wouldn't be able to pass through plain text, encrypt it in the same key, and then get the same result. So I guess in this case, then what you might need to do is actually store the encrypted text with the user. No, there's better ways to do that. Much better ways to do that. I'm just trying to think of a simple way to do it. Let's see. Alright, so it's saying I can use AES here, which is not great. But it's an option. And so let's just... So what we need to do is we'll need to store... some encrypt utils. Let's go and put this in here. Okay. Does the cryptography library not have this? Do we have a pad and unpad in that? Let's see if cryptography library has these functions. Ooh, I don't want to manually. I don't want to manually do it. All right, okay. So the answer is no. So we need to stop that. We need to pip install toe. Change our library. Yeah, come on. Okay, so that should. Oh, wait. What's the pip uninstall? Don't think that was the library I wanted. Yes, let's. That seemed a bit dodgy. So we can pip install. Oh no! Excuse me. Install py. Let's try that. Okay, so I've installed that. That should give us that. Okay. So we don't do that anymore. And okay. We still pass the same key, that's fine. So we still have, so we still need to import the OS. Key, I might need to redo the key because the key might be in an incorrect format. Okay, so and we say from crypt utils import, no, it's not Cipher Suite, import encrypt and decrypt. So login, we're just gonna import encrypt. So we're not decrypting anything, we're only doing encryption. So we would do encrypt password key. Okay, and now in the registration, you would do from encrypt utils, import encrypt. And then we would do encrypt here. Okay. Let's see if that functions at all. So, we'll again call our endpoint, there's nothing. Let's send through, and we have incorrect AES key length. Okay, cool. Thank you. That was what I wanted to know. How do I do? Variable. I just can't spell. It's getting late. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Let's go. So we're going to. Okay, you can stop Copilot. I've got what I need for the moment, which is just this extra Python code here. I'm just going to store the encryption key there. Alright, and now let's try this again. Nope, still an issue. Incorrect AES key length. Okay. So how long should the key be? Okay, so it's saying do 256, that's fine. Okay, because why is it saying it's 90 bytes? It should be 32 bytes. Interesting. So getting the encryption key. Let's just do a check. Man, it's not displaying correctly, but that's fine. It should be. Should be fine. Let's try 24 bytes. Interesting, it's saying that the encryption key length is too long. What is it requesting? 32 bytes. Right, how do I make sure this is 32 bytes? What can I do? mostly give you some janky solution. Okay, we could try that. Let's see if that will work. So you want to import hashlib, okay, and then we'll say hash key. We don't want MD5, we want SHA-256 key.encode digest. Okay, and then we want to do that also over on login, and then we import hashlib, and then when we call this, that's fine. And then again, when we call that key, cool. All right, let's give that a shot. So let's try and apparently we've got more issues. Plaintext.encode. So encode here doesn't. Because we've already encoded it. So user request. Okay, so and again, this one will just be login. Okay, and there we go. So do we have some user details? We have some user details. Now if we try and login successful. If we change the password, incorrect password. Cool, got there. So what do we have? What do we have at the end of the day? All right, we have pretty basic API. So we've got a global store which just holds some users. We have a user model. We have some routers to do some things. We have encryption. So we have our users endpoint. So we have login, registration, login. We have users. And we have our requests. So we're doing mapping from requests to models. We have some encryption utilities, and we have the base API. Cool. And yeah, so I think we got that. I think we only really had to Google one thing, which was just on that, like wanting the models to be a certain way. What are the schemas? Police. I am definitely getting tired. Cool. So, yeah, so I think we're looking good on that one. So yeah, I think that gives me a solid little API demo app. I mean, again, don't roll your own security. find a library, find an implementation that does it for you. Some third-party services generally going to do it better, like Auth0 or something like that. Is generally what I would recommend if you're going down that route. Cool. So apart from that, I will, let's bump this down. I do a git init input. Do I not have git? Okay, I'm having all sorts of issues with this code, this dev container today, aren't I? Config log failed. Sudo git init. Apparently sudo worked. There you go. Alright, well I'm gonna get this one kind of saved. I'll put this one up on Git. Unfortunately not very good code, especially we haven't done any tests or anything yet. We'll put in some stuff here. Simple, fast application. It does not use any machine learning. Login. Please do not use. This is not secure. There we go. Not that I would expect anyone to do that. And REST API. I should get the requirements properly defined at some point, but I'll do that. Cool. Alrighty, well I hope everyone has a great rest of their weeks. I'm gonna have a full-on one tomorrow. I'm running a 7-hour workshop tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun. Be a long day, but I'm sure it'll be great. So yeah, I hope everyone else has a great day tomorrow and the rest of the week, and I will see people hopefully on Thursday. Cool. Alright, have a good one everyone. Catch you later.